I apologise. I'm absolutely battered. God, how are you boys and everyone in the chat?
We're good, mate. We're good.
We're good after
Very
that.
good.
After that result,
We've
really
got a
good.
9-0 aggregate for Shelfside Spurs.
Yes,
on the watch
that's
along,
true.
So,
that's true. Yeah,
we're very good. So.
And how are you? I understand that you watched the game at the Scotland Yard, a very famous pub for you Torontons who've not been there, and any non-Canadians who fancy visiting Toronto and are Spurs fans, go to the Scotland Yard pub. It's worth it.
Oh, it was brilliant. Let me just, before we go anywhere, let me just say thank you, Everton. Thank you. I got to watch the whole second half, and I'll tell you what, that second goal they scored was a thing of beauty. And then we got to see what we got to see. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what Antonio Conte's saying at half time, but in the second half, we're coming out like a pack of lions that haven't eaten for a month. It's like, there you go. There's that second half, and the style of football was absolutely outstanding. Outstanding football. And I just want to say to my brother Bob Spur, aka Superman, 4 games out of 4 is a run. So yeah, definitely on a run.
In terms of that second half, Brian, was that better than Newcastle?
Do you know what? It's so hard to say. I think some of the football, especially that team goal for Son's goal, was just an absolute thing of beauty. I really think it was. I mean, Aston Villa gave us more of a fight than Newcastle did in the second half, and for that I would say, yeah, it probably just does edge it. But I tell you what, Hugo Lloris in that first half was the reason we could go and win it in the second half. He was sensational in that first half.
In terms of our wing backs, mate, what's your thinking now with, I mean, obviously we don't know the extent of any potential injury or stuff or anything to Matt Doherty. With him going off so early, are you worried about our wing back situation?
Do you know, first of all, how Spursy is it that Matt Doherty finds a purple patch of form and we're all waxing lyrical about him, and then wallop, there you go, injured. Let's just hope it's not an injury, a long-term injury. Listen, the wing-backs did what they had to do today. They did what they had to do. Romero didn't get booked again, which is phenomenal. And yeah, the wing-backs, the last 2 games, they've done what they had to do. They've done what they had to do. So yeah, I mean, Emerson, I don't think again was covered himself in glory, but again, he did what he had to do. So listen, it's a 4-0 win. It's now 10 goals ahead of the filth. Things don't get much better, do they? Things do not get much better. But the wing backs, yeah, I'm not too concerned right now.
Excellent. Front 3. Sonny obviously gets a hat-trick. Kane, the architect of a number of them. You mentioned that team move. Do you see more cohesion in this team? Do you see them? I mean, a lot of the things that has been said sort of throughout the fan base over the last few weeks is talk of cohesion. Do they look more cohesive? Do they look more together to you? And what do you think is causing that? If it's there, what's bringing them all together, do you think?
Do you know what? I said it on WeAreTottenhamTV yesterday, I believe. The front 3 are electric. The back 3 have become a rock. The 2 in midfield are playing out of their skin. And I have to say, today, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was fantastic. From start to finish. Out of the 2, I think he outshone Bentancur today by a country mile in both defending and going forward. I thought he was sensational today. That front 3, like I said, after Newcastle, in what we've got here to zone, you had Shearer and Les Ferdinand talking about the front 3, and they said, you know what, right now, I don't think there's a front 3 in Europe. You'd fear more. They are something else. And we're all saying Kulusevski needs to add goals to his game. There you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. There it was. Those 3, the way they've settled in and the understanding they've got is quite frightening how quick that's worked. But Kane, again, the architect. Son today, and I can see Son's #1 fan in the back end. And you know what? Rightfully so. And do you know what? I've been speaking to Will about Son and how I think the few games before Newcastle that I thought he'd been off the pace. Boy, he shut me up today. Boy, he shut me up. Son was absolutely electric. The thing I didn't like with Kane near the end is you could see Aston Villa were just trying to hack him down at any expense.
Yeah.
I would have taken him off like after 80th minute and the first tackle when you saw him limping with his ankle. I'd have been like, off you go, rest, relax, recuperate. But today, Son deserves all the plaudits. Son was fantastic, and rightfully so. And let's just hope it stays like this. I mean, right now, we look unstoppable. We look unstoppable. And long may this continue. And as I said, I'm going to put my hands up just before people go, oh, Brian said top four was done. Oh, Brian was... Listen, I can make a mistake. I'm human.
Of course.
I did not see it. Do I see top four on? 1 billion %. Was I wrong? 1 billion %. So, yeah, mate, it's on. It's more than on. It's more than on. Thank God.
I want to get your read on something else. So you talked about Kane being hacked down. I mean, that Ashley Young tackle was a thing of utter barbarity in my view, just really out of order. Do you think that Graham Scott was... I mean, how do you think? The answer is, how bad was Graham Scott today in your view?
So, do you know what? It was so much madness in the Scotland Yard today, and I've put videos everywhere and whatever. I didn't really, when the decisions, obviously, we were all up in the podcast, yeah, bastard, blah, 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 blah. So but do you know what? They talk about sometimes how the England captain or these big players get protected a little bit more than other players because of who they are. There was nothing on Harry Kane. I mean, these tackles were going in thick and fast. The Ashley Young ones are disgrace. But do you know what it is? He's nutmegging people like he's Dele Alli in his prime.
Yeah.
He's taking piss all over the pitch, and people getting frustrated. And those tackles, especially when it's on his ankle, and everyone knows about his ankle injuries, and that's like the problem area. There was no protection for him. The Ashley Young tackle is a disgrace, absolute disgrace, and I don't know why. I think he did get booked for it, didn't he? He did get a yellow.
He got a yellow.
Yeah,
he got a yellow.
But he then went back. But then Ashley Young then went back and said, "Why are you booking me? That wasn't a foul," and all of this nonsense. You know.
Yeah.
No, well, let Ashley swallow some more bird shit. Let him do that and carry on. He's very good at that. He can swallow bird shit well. But he talks a lot of shit. So listen, Ashley Young, you're a disgrace. You lost 4-0, and deal with it. Deal with it. What a stunning performance.
I mean, speaking of Kane as well. I mean, look. Let's put Bumminall fans aside, right? How can anyone deny that Harry Kane is one of the best players of his generation, if not ever? One of. I'm not saying he's the best, but certainly one of the best. How can anyone deny that?
Well, right now for me, Harry Kane in 2022 is the best player in the world. Period. Period. People will know very critical of him season. Very, very critical. And I believe rightly so. But since November, boy, has he come back. And do you know what? He's added more. Just when you think he can't add more to his game, he's added the drop in very, very deep and commanding the game. We all know he drops off being the main centre forward and into that little pocket between defence and midfield. Now he's dropping back into our own half and doing things. But now he's added dribbling to his game. When has he been? Like, just when you think, do you know what? There's nothing more this man can add to his game. You're like, do you know what? Hold my beer. Let me just go and do this. I'm going to show you something else. He's just incredible. For me right now, I always say the biggest regret I have as a Spurs fan was I never got to see Gareth Bale live. And the reason I didn't get to see Gareth Bale come live is because when I was back there, that's when I was at the height of my addictions and all my money went on that. But you know what? I can sit back and say I've had the blessing, the privilege, the honour of watching that man live on many, many occasions, because you ain't going to see many like him that could be a 10, a 9, an 8, a 6, or whatever. It's like that song 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? That's all. It's all Harry Kane's positions. It's literally outstanding what this man is doing, and long may it continue. And he's just on fire. He's just on fire, and I just cannot see anything else than a top 4 finish now. For me, if we can just get a win against Brighton next week, which I think we will, I think this is going to be well and truly sewn up before the 5th game anyway.
So it sort of dispenses with your final question, Nick, but you should ask it anyway.
Top 4, yes or no, Brian?
In the words of Stone Cold Austin, oh, hell, yes.
It's always a privilege to have you on, Brian. Thank you very much for calling in, mate. Any final words before you go?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not dignifying that prick with my final words today because he doesn't deserve it. All I will say, you did an absolutely phenomenal job. Absolutely incredible.
That's very kind of you, mate.
It's just come on, you Spurs. Let's keep this going.
Thank you, Brian.
Peace
really
out.
Appreciate
Everyone.
that, mate.
Love you, ta-ra, guys.
Cheers, pal. Thanks very much for coming on. Take care.